Oh man, is that the real guys I see again in Colorado?
Mern, I came all the way from Texas to see your Mern Judson special fly today. What do you got on tap for me?
What we got on here this morning is a variation of an antique fly called the Betty McNaught.
Oh, goodness gracious, I see Tommy Nels, but I don't see Ken. Oh, goodness gracious, let me go take another look from over here.
Fish that dry fly as if the dropper's not there at all. But if the dry fly pauses, does anything funny, or goes underwater,
Lift the rod.
just set your hook.
Set the hook.
Oh, yep, that's the real guys for sure. I better go warn everybody.
I was with Mern this morning. Ken had to get here a little bit late, so I had a guy carry the load for the real guys, and he took us to a beautiful stretch of water. And I hadn't fished in about a year in fresh water for trout, and I had to get a little used to the thing. Beautiful water, beautiful stretch of logs and some brush, and Mern is real good. Mern is very patient, very calm.
Going back towards the tree. Oh, there he was.
There he is. There he is, Mern.
Basically, we started out this morning with Tommy, trying to put him on some early morning trout. The whole idea was to get a couple of really good flies set up for him, show him how to do the knots in a little different way.
I don't care if these are smaller trout. It's just the challenge of getting these things to hit. Yeah, I get it.
He's just a sign to let you know that the big daddy's over there waiting for you.
He's over there waiting for us somewhere? Okay.
You're in good shape.
That was right there. Mern is real big on fishing a dry fly, obviously on top, and then a trailer about a foot behind to resemble a nymph type thing. And the two flies give you a chance to see what they're biting on. And this morning, we caught really about half and half on dry flies and underwater.
This is a Crescent Butte. The mountain, it sits all alone. That's the reason why they call it a butte. Off to the right of it, back in there with a shade on top of it, is Teocalli, one of the Colorado's many 14,000 footers.
That sticks out like a sore thumb when you're coming through town and get back over there too.
But the backside of that is where the skiing all happens.
Yeah.
We got the Slate River coming down around to the left side of it. The East River comes down around the back side of it. As a young man, as a Boy Scout, I came to the Gunnison County area through camping and merit badge type things. Fell in love with the place. As soon as I graduated high school, I started spending all my summers up here. And the more summers I spent, the more fishing I did. And the more I fell in love with it, till eventually I just couldn't handle it anymore, and I moved here to be a permanent resident.
Mern, could there be, 20 or 30 fish down this pool right here?
Oh, easily. Depending on the time of day and how much food is going on, how many insects are coming off, they could be stocking in here thick. A pool like this that would...
Yep, there you go. That dry fly just stopped, didn't it?
Yep, just paused.
It just paused, yeah. Oh, the dropper. That's so fine. These are all brownies.
Another nice brown.
These are all brownies. Come on in here, partner. Come on in here. Come on, you hooking them good, Murray. There we go.
All right.
These orange spots just amaze me. See that brown like that? These orange spots are just menacing.
Real light gold belly on them.
Yeah.
Well, he shot out of there like he was ready to go again.
Yep. we're in a party home. Every calf. This is great. Oh. We've caught all browns today in what, one cutthroat?
One cutthroat. Another brown. Now the dry was hot there for a few minutes, and all these have been on the dropper.
On the dropper. We meant to get that hemostat there. Orange spots again. I'm kind of having fun being the net man here.
The Real Guys are brought to you by Pennzoil Marine, the right equipment for fishing. By Toyota, get the most out of your day, every day. And in part by Metamore, delivering IT right now.
You ready?
Yeah. You've had all the fun you want to have.
Because I think right up here, in that transition this side too, is going to be nice. You don't waste any time, do you? Another one on the drop?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Look at that face. Isn't that
Nice.
something? It's the dropper, Mern. It's the dropper. Oh, that's great. You know, I'm the old-fashioned one. I like to kind of enjoy the tug for a while, Mern. I told Mern we just got back from catching tarpon in Florida, and it's a big difference to hook those things and then hook trout up here in Colorado. And yes, it's kind of like riding a bike. You know, once you do it, it comes back to you pretty quickly. And it's a great feeling. The fish weren't all that big. We caught a couple probably 14 to 16 inches, but it's the way you catch them. And we were doing real good in that one area. And yes, it takes a little bit of a feel, a little bit of a touch, but once you get it, it comes back to you pretty quick. Isn't that pretty?
Look at the big leopard spots.
Yeah,
Darker spots.
Right in there.
More like a leopard here.
They're starting to all look like twins.
That was all right. This morning, mainly the main fish we caught this morning was brown trout. We did catch a few cutthroat, and but there are rainbows and brookies in here too. That's the Snake River, Fine Point here. These haven't been released in this water in quite a long time.
Well, you catch them all different ways, Mark.
Well, that's the other trick to two flies. Ken arrived a little later with rod. We decided to go down to another stretch of water and try for some trout, some big browns and rainbows.
I left Houston, Texas this morning. I woke up about 3 o'clock this morning, left Houston real early, and the change in the humidity, you just feel wonderful. And you remember from all those past times you come out how great you feel, and I really enjoyed the summer and the fall out here much more than the winter. I used to come out and ski, but I started taking care of all these people tearing their anterior cruciate ligaments up, and I thought I didn't want to tear mine, so I decided I'd be more of a summer and fall visitor to Colorado.
Or the other trick I was telling Tom about is follow the drift of your line with your rod tip. Don't follow the fly. See, now get your rod tip downstream, and see, then you can extend your drift. You have a better chance to pick line up.
I guess most of you don't recognize that fella out there in the water with Mern Judson. That's Rod Underhill, my newest, best fishing buddy. I just found him in Dallas. He was on the road. He gave me a ride to Crested Beach today, so I told him I'd let him fish.
When he wants it, let him have it. Nice. Brownie. He's a good fish there. Try to keep him above you, but if he goes below, don't worry. Jeez.
Right over here, coming in.
There he is. I don't make a living as a guide. I have a real job. I do this because I enjoy it. I enjoy trying to teach people about it. and just enjoy being out on the rivers. I hope to bring some of that joy to other people who will come to this area. There's more to fly fishing than just catching a fish. You got to get out, you got to see the sights, smell the smells, and hear the sounds. And if you can put all that together, you will catch fish and you'll have a great day. But fishing is therapy, and it should be fun. So let's take the frustration out of it and enjoy the beautiful place. Okay, so we're fishing the same rig here for the salmon, except for I pinched on a little bit of weight. Okay, and if that isn't enough weight, we're going to add more weight in a second. But if you see, we got a big pot of salmon, the kokanee, right out here. We walked up on a pot of salmon. These are kokanee salmon. They run out of the Blue Mesa Reservoir. We're about 40 miles away, maybe more than that river-wise. Now, these salmon return every 4 years up into this river drainage, spawn, lay their eggs, and then die. The little fish hatch out, and then next spring we'll head back down to Blue Mesa to live 4 years to do it again. And this is a cycle that's gone on for quite a few years here in Gunnison, Colorado. Well, that's strong. Pound for pound, it might be the best fight around.
They are tough. I would have never believed they were that strong.
I didn't land mine, you can land yours.
You want to bring him over this little calmer water, or just bring him right in here to you?
Figure wherever he wants to be, I'll get to him for you.
Jeez. God. I think I'm going to come this way. That is something else. We're not going to tell anybody about that. Yeah. We won't say a word. We'll just unhook him and
let me get turned around here. Where do you want to be?
I'm right here. This is fine. Kokanee, my first one ever. I'm going to let him in now. I'm going to sit him down. Yeah. The old kokanee. Thank you.
What a battle.
You know, that's wild. I mean, this thing is incredibly strong.
That's all right.
I'm going to get you one more, then I'm going to pass it off.
The kokanee salmon grow to 18 inches on the average. It's an excellent fighting fish, and they're also very good to be caught out of the lake.
Woo, man, look at that. God. Should I chase him down or just stay here?
We might want to walk with him. Yeah. If he gets going, we'll never catch him. You didn't get the little pressure on him to come over this way. Maybe I can get a net on him.
What I like about Mern Judson, first of all, I met him about 3 years ago in Aspen. He helped us do a real guy show, but what I like about him is his very pleasant, pleasing, gentle manner. He seems to be very easygoing, and very patient.
Whew. Look at the size of that.
The only way to do these is very close up, not too far away.
The most enjoyment I get from fly fishing for freshwater trout, the biggest thrill is to cast that fly where you think there might be a fish and hook it. And obviously you're going to miss some, they're going to get away, but it's the challenge of figuring out where that fish might be, getting a good presentation, and hooking that fish. And that's the satisfaction right there.
I'm going to give this to you. sir, he just jumped right out of the water. Did he jump right at you? Yeah. Oh, God, that's a big one. That's a big one. It's a crazy one.
I love it. Three-weight mania, Hoot.
That's a crazy one.
Three-weight. Oh.
I love coming out to the Rocky Mountains. I don't care if it's Montana, Colorado, Wyoming. I love this area. I love the weather. Texas is great, but in the summertime it's kind of tough to get through. So anytime Ken says, Flakes, would you like to go up to Colorado to go trout fishing? I say, I'll be there. I'm ready to go.
Well, there's my sister Sally and my lovely wife Janae enjoying themselves down by the waterfall. Down by the waterfall.
Growing up, my daddy didn't fish, and I never had been fishing until my honeymoon. That began a long story of fishing trips with Ken Ford. Actually, most trips don't necessarily start off as fishing trips, even though a lot of family vacations do that. But there always seems to be a rod and reel, spinning rod to the finest fly fishing equipment somewhere in the car or on the backpack or in the plane. So I guess there's an ulterior motive behind every vacation that we have been on.
This is my lovely wife, Janae Ford, who's going on a fishing trip with me. And I'm letting her use a rod here that if she breaks it, it's guaranteed they'll replace it. And I had to get a rod that was guaranteed replacement because it could be broken.
I have gotten some golf balls replaced.
Yes.
Cutting them.
I think most people traveling through Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Utah, they're traveling to get somewhere. They're going to visit their relatives, they're going to do this and that. Sometimes it's nice just to take time to pull off the side of the road. There's a lot of good public access water in all these states, just like the little creek we're fishing today. And you take a little 3-weight rod or 4-weight rod and dry fly. You don't have to have a lot of skill, and you can have a great experience.
Whoa.
Pretty good.
Yeah, they're still real healthy.
Wow, that was cool.
Okay, roll one in there.
Salmon number what?
Okay, now.
Say hello to all your children. Just say hello.
Bo, Casey, see what your mother can do? Hi, Katie. Hi, Amy. Actually, fishing, that's what it's all about to me. I love the learning the techniques of fishing, learning a little more and learning again each time I go. But it really is just the pleasure of being out and having a good time.
To me, it allows me to go another place. My fishing does. And in that place, there's no problems, no workaday world, no nothing. And it's just a nice place to be. Move up about another 10 feet, and then as you fish.
The Reel Guys have been brought to you by Pennzoil Marine, the right equipment for fishing. In part by CCA, the Coastal Conservation Association is dedicated to the conservation and protection of marine life. And by T-Bore Reel Corporation, makers of the world's finest fly fishing reels.
Janae told me the only way I could do the Reel Guys was if I took her on some trips, especially to Colorado. So here we are. This morning we had about an hour and a half drive from my sister Sally's house, and Mern has taken us to a big meadow with a small creek that sort of meanders down through the bottom of the meadow.
We're in Cochetope Park, Gunnison, Colorado, Gunnison County. Soon to be fishing in Cochetope Creek.
I've been fishing with Ken for years and years and trying to keep up with him. But Mern really was a fabulous teacher, gave me some little hints and techniques and things that I really hadn't known before, and was so kind and patient, which sometimes husbands have a tendency not to be quite so patient with their wives.
I didn't go.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see it.
We're going to want to have our fly in that foam.
Okay.
It follows that current line and goes up and in there.
Okay.
Okay. Janae and I this morning worked a lot on presentation of the fly. She has a real sweet little cast, keeps her rod tip high. She just needed a few pointers on how to get that fly to come down natural. One of the many things we worked on was to follow the line and not the fly on the drift. When she began following the line, the fly would float much more naturally and for quite a longer drift. So way over there. And then we'll move up and try to hit on that curve. Yeah, let it just get pulled in. Get up. Now follow your line. There you go. Try one. See the bush with the yellow flowers. Throw one about 3 foot short of that bush. And be ready to mend right. Okay. And I let you. Perfect. Good shot.
The best thing I like about going fly fishing is where you go. It's a sport where you basically only go beautiful places, and even though the fishing is fun for me at times, what I really enjoy is looking around, beautiful mountains or gorgeous saltwater flats or wherever it is. It's usually really a treat to enjoy where we are because it's a lot prettier than the city.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oop! I didn't go. Wait a minute.
Nice job.
Thanks. Now we can eat.
I think the joy of this is fishing that little dry fly, and this creek meanders. It turns back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I think over a 2-mile stretch of road, there's about 6 miles of river.
That is a big one. Did you see? You know they're big when they come up.
Did you see him
slow.
come out, Mern? Oh, that was good. That was good. He's just holding down here in the bottom.
Oh, that's a nice fish. That's beautiful.
Do me a favor, Mern, if you can come get this stick out of the way. Well, it's okay. Here, I'll get it. There he goes.
He's gone. He's trying to get you under that cut bank.
Uh-oh.
Come on, walk on down a little more. I've been looking forward to fishing with them for quite a while, and I've caught quite a few of their shows on TV, and let me tell you, having to work with these guys is a real experience. Quite a couple of characters. It's fun to see some men, though, who want to get out and bring their family and enjoy a sport like this. It was fun working with Ken's wife and spending the day on a river.
Oh, man, let's take him over here. Let's keep him in the water, and I'll get my camera out.
Get a picture of my nose.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to give you the good camera.
Yeah.
Oh, Mern, that I tell you what, that was exciting. That was
a fish for this little water, isn't he?
Oh, I'm going to get this good camera out and pass it to Tommy. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to reel this up. I'm going to do this right. I'm going to reel this up, set everything inside. I tell you, that was worth the trip. Oh.
If there's one thing I could do and really enjoy, and that's spend time with my family, doing things like this, being outdoors and spending a little quality time on a piece of water somewhere.
I mean, close as you can get. I mean, zoom with your hand.
This is close. This is close.
All right, okay. Thanks. Flake man, I will not forget that one.
I won't either. I was a witness.
The cool thing about it was, as we came around the corner, you and Mern both said, "Get ready."
Yeah. No, I know.
This looks fishy.